Hello everyone, this is Maurice Ross, and this is my legal rant of the day. I had intended to spend today talking about some recent circuit court decisions, but this morning the Supreme Court issued a bombshell on its shadow docket. In particular, the Supreme Court held that essentially it's okay for federal ICE agents to engage in racial profiling when they stop and detain persons suspected of being in the United States illegally. This is a shocking and disturbing ruling. The court, for the first time, endorses the right of law enforcement officials to stop and detain people merely because of their ethnic background and the fact that they are seeking work at a location known for people to seek work, and in a neighborhood where it is known that a number of persons of Mexican or Latino background congregate to seek work. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact is, the vast majority of people who fit those characteristics are either citizens of the United States or otherwise are here legally. Only a small percentage of those people who fit those characteristics are actually here illegally. Yet the government has engaged in a dragnet of epic proportions, going to neighborhoods in Los Angeles, for example, and rounding up people just because of the color of their skin, just because of the language they speak, or the location in which they seek work. In a democracy, ladies and gentlemen, this is intolerable. Judge Kavanaugh wrote a concurrence, and he tries to justify this decision on two grounds. First, he argues that the individuals and organizations who brought suit to stop these horrendous tactics lack standing. It's a technicality. They have no interest. They don't have enough of an interest to intervene in the situation. I don't understand the basis for that ruling at all. He apparently believes that since only a small number of people compared to the total population will be caught up in this dragnet, that it's premature for people to be worried about it. They will only have standing after they've been wrongfully detained. He doesn't rule on whether or not if somebody is wrongfully detained, they have the right to bring a lawsuit for violation of the Fourth Amendment rights. But I gotta tell you, the standing ruling makes absolutely no sense to me. The organizations who brought these claims represent individuals who clearly are subject to fear and potential mistreatment by the government simply because of the color of their skin, their ethnic background, and the locations where they live. It's intolerable. Now then, Justice Kavanaugh engages in an analysis of whether the stop and detention of these people is reasonable. And he acknowledges that under US law, ICE agents must have reasonable suspicion to stop and detain people. But his analysis then goes off the rails when he considers the meaning of reasonable suspicion. And he essentially says, hey, in the area of immigration, where there may be 15 million illegal immigrants in a country of 350 million people, it's okay to assume that if you're Latino, or if you have dark skin, or if you speak Spanish, that you're here illegally. And that is enough, those combination of factors is enough to give rise to reasonable suspicion. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is outrageous. It is un-American. It is a violation of every fundamental concept of constitutional law of which I have been aware in my 45 years as a practicing lawyer. I am ashamed that this Supreme Court has gone to this extreme and has endorsed what is essentially a tactic that I associate with Nazi Germany. This is what the Germans did. When Hitler decided to take over Germany and he decided to scapegoat gays and Jews, he sent his armed forces out to pick up anybody who fell into these categories, sent them to concentration camps. We are doing the same thing. And here's the thing, ICE agents make mistakes. They do so all the time. They pick up U.S. citizens. What does Justice Kavanaugh says? He just says, well, if the ICE agent makes a mistake, it's really easy for the person who is detained to prove that he's a U.S. citizen. Wait a minute, that's crazy. That means that you expect us to carry in our wallet, wherever we go, our identification, so we can convince an ICE agent that we are U.S. citizens, that we have green cards, or that we're here legally. That's insane. No rule of law in America, in American history, has ever said we must bring our papers with us, our passports, our identification, our driver's license, wherever we go. If I go jogging now, I gotta bring my driver's license, because some ICE agent could come up to me and accuse me of being Irish or something like that, or from wherever, from Ecuador. And then they could detain me for a week, and they'd figure it out and let me go. And I would have absolutely no remedy for this wrongful conduct under the Supreme Court's jurisprudence. Now, Judge Kavanaugh does say that he is concerned, he does agree that there's a problem with illegal use of force, and he issues a warning that ICE agents should not use excessive force. But beyond that, his opinion is, I think, an abomination. And I believe Justice Kavanaugh was speaking for the entire court, other than the three dissenting justices, Sotomayor, Jackson, and the third, Justice Kagan. Justice Sotomayor's dissent is breathtakingly aggressive. And she says that this is the type of decision that really threatens our democracy. It is, without any question, an endorsement of racial profile. I am shocked, I'm dismayed, I expect better from the Supreme Court.